So some people may notice that urinary So some people might notice their urinary incontinence symptoms being worse throughout different parts of their cycle. And I wanted to get into a little bit about why that might be. So there are two main hormones that affect your bladder and might be affecting your urinary incontinence symptoms. They are progesterone and estrogen. So an increase in progesterone and a decrease in estrogen are two things that might be causing your symptoms to be worse. The increase in progesterone actually works on the detrusor muscle, or the muscle around your bladder that squeezes it to go. It makes that more sensitive, makes it contract a bit more. So an increase in progesterone. And then a decrease in estrogen just makes the bladder a little less supple, changes the intra-abdominal pressure to be a little bit higher when that estrogen is lower, and also makes the muscle around the urethra, your sphincter that keeps your pee in, not as strong, a little bit less supple, a little bit harder to contract. So anytime throughout our cycle where there is a dip in estrogen and or an increase in progesterone, you might feel your symptoms be a little bit worse. So I have this here, just showing the cycle. So over here is day 1 of your cycle, which is the beginning of your period. At the beginning of your period, your estrogen and progesterone are very low, so more so that low estrogen is probably causing your symptoms if you're noticing your incontinence symptoms worse during your period. And so here we go through proliferative phase, and then here is ovulation. Right after ovulation, your estrogen starts to decrease, progesterone increases. So sometimes in that luteal phase before your period starts, so a little bit before your period, your symptoms might feel worse. And then it might also be worse during your period as well because of that low estrogen. So some people feel their symptoms a little worse before their period, some people during their period. So it's either that drop in estrogen that's causing it, or that increase in progesterone that's causing it, or a combination of both. So that's why this might be happening. That doesn't mean there's nothing we can do about it. It just gives us a little bit more insight about why you're having your symptoms when.